It's one of the most devastating moments a person can face, the loss of a limb. Whether it's due to illness or accident, the loss of a limb causes physical and emotional distress. Amputees must relearn everyday tasks and come to terms with the idea that their lives are forever changed. But as many amputees learn, losing a limb means embracing an altered life path, not a reduced one.
In 1989, I stepped on a landmine, which resulted in the loss of both of my legs, my left leg above my knee, my right leg below my knee, and missing a few fingers on my left hand. At first, it's devastating. You're in a place where that's very dark. You're not sure how things are going to turn out. Once you accept the things that are the reality of what things really are, then you can move on. You know, I mean, there are things I can't do. There are things that I can't do that I don't want to do. You know, and there's very few things that I want to do that I can't do, though.
March 5th of 2001, I was in a motorcycle accident in West Texas. I lost my leg below the knee on my right side. Obviously, some of the first emotions, which is pretty typical of a lot of people, younger people, that when they do lose a limb or have any type of traumatic injury where they have a physical appearance that's changed, you kind of think more of a social life. How is that going to affect me? How am I going to be appeared by the public differently now that I lost a leg? If any way that it's affected my life, and I think for most amputees that after a while they understand the things that they can do with the use of a prosthesis, it's affected in a positive way.
For people like Don and Casey, prosthetic limbs and devices can help them reclaim their independence and their hope.
You know, being a golf pro in itself is a very hard road to travel. It takes a lot of education, a lot of dedication, a lot of patience, a lot of hard work. Being an amputee only sets you apart in the sense that you're different than other players. The game itself doesn't change. Sometimes in life, you don't have choices. Sometimes you have to go with what you have left, you know. And the miracle is not in what you had. Sometimes it's sometimes in what you have left.
It took me about 3 or 4 months to start walking again with the prosthesis. And about a year after losing my leg, I found out about the Paralympics. And that's when I started training and trying to compete for the Paralympic Games. And about a year later, I qualified to go to Athens.
But in order to help amputees achieve optimal function and the highest quality of life possible, prosthetics need to be carefully custom fit and adapted to the needs of each individual patient. It's a process that requires a precise blend of science and art.
The art and science of fitting prosthetics, one really begins with patient assessment. The art behind it is getting a good, true, accurate impression of the limb, whether you do it by cast or plaster mold or you do it by computer-aided design. We do both here. There's your art and science, because actually an amputee's overall success or accomplishment of goals is directly related to their fit and their component selection. So if you select the proper components from the get-go and the proper interfaces, which is directly against the skin, then you're going to get a lot better outcome, you know, with your product and with your patient.
Often, what sets apart the rehabilitation experience for the patient is the company that provides the service. Believing that every patient deserves the highest level of craftsmanship and care has been the driving force behind AOPI Orthotics and Prosthetics since 1999. Providing a broad range of prosthetic devices, from medical-grade off-the-shelf products to in-house custom fabricated orthotics and prosthetics, AOPI was created by a third-generation prosthetist who has dedicated his life to providing patients with the best rehabilitative solution possible.
The reason I formed Augusta Orthotics and Prosthetics mainly is so we can manage and rehabilitate amputees at not a corporate level, to the highest standards. We're not pressed for budgets or financial statements or anything like that. We can actually take our amputees and experiment with various componentry, which is crucial when you're looking at prosthetics and orthotics. You know, just one liner may not be applicable for the same patient. Losing a limb is not easy. It's a tough thing to go through. When we see patients come in, we don't just see financial statements. What we do is we try to get involved with their personal story. We try to get into their life, find out, you know, what do they really want to do? You know, what are their goals? What were they doing prior to that amputation? So what we go in is we fit them and we spend extra time with them. We spend whatever amount of time it takes to get that patient back to what they were doing before.
Today, AOPI has 3 locations and more than 70 years combined experience on staff and is a skilled facility that offers rehabilitative solutions from the tried and true to the latest and greatest innovations.
One of the biggest problems in our field now is the old school techniques are fading away. You know, it's now send it off, send it off, send it off. Well, we don't do that. We're teaching our residents fresh out of college to hand build things, to be able to not only make them, but repair them, fix them, diagnose them.
As new technology continues to emerge, AOPI strives to provide patients with the latest and best devices in the field of orthotics and prosthetics. For example, the center's on-site fabrication lab takes the fitting process to a whole new level.
I have a kid here that works at Augusta Orthotics and Prosthetics. His name's David Puller. I met him when he was 13 years old. His story is he zigged when he should have zagged. There was a train coming. He got caught up under that train. Right to this day, he's an avid fireman for the Columbia County Fire Department. He's also a technician here at our office. Stands on his prosthesis 8 to 10 hours a day, and then he's also a fireman. He dresses out. His story is he can dress out faster than any of the other firemen because we've got a special design leg where he just slips into his fire gear. So he doesn't have to dress that leg. All he's got to do is jump down into it, click, it's on, and he's done.
From champion golf players to Paralympians to the boy next door, AOPI works to bring out the best in each and every patient through a combination of respect, strong values, excellence, and a level of customer service that sets it apart from all others.
These guys are on the cutting edge of technology and everything that comes along, and they know their patients very well, and they know what they're trying to do, they know what their areas they're involved in and what their interests are, and so they can fashion legs that can help you do whatever that you want to achieve, whatever thing you're trying to do. They can fashion stuff to do that. I have things on my legs that rotators and things that help me swing through the ball that, you know, a normal person probably wouldn't use that in their legs. But these guys are always up on the newest thing that comes down the line, and they'll always call you and they'll say, you know what, we got something new for you. I want you to try this and see how this works out for you. In this field, things are ever changing, and these guys stay up on it just like any other professional would in their business. And so it's kind of exciting to get that phone call and someone say, hey, come up, I've got this thing I want to put on you. And it's great.
Everybody here knows what they're doing. That's what really sets them apart, because they are a family-run business. Their commitment to everyone is, you know, the best, because whenever you come in here, it's not just getting a leg, it's building a relationship, a friendship. They're the ones that got me up on my feet. They're right there for me, and it's just you can't put in words of what you get here.
It's a family-oriented practice, and I knew that the second I came into this place, into Augusta Prosthetics, that I was going to be treated like family, and I have, and I think almost every patient here can say the same thing. They know that their job is to make sure that your life is not affected in any way negatively, and their goal is to make sure you can do the things you used to do and beyond that.
Like its many patients who have risen above their disability to achieve full and rewarding lives, AOPI continually strives to be a rehabilitative solution that is above and beyond the rest.
Our patients inspire us to be above and beyond the rest, mainly because each patient that comes in this door has an emotional story. So when we get into their story, we want to be a part of their story. So that alone inspires us. I mean, you know, you take somebody that's devastated, they come in a wheelchair, and you basically have to treat them between the ears as well. You know, you have to be a psychologist. You have to spend a lot of time with these patients, and our inspiration really is seeing them once they go from a wheelchair and they get up to get walking and ambulating around. We get the whole story, you know, so that's an inspiration. You know, we want to be a part of that story. We want to follow these patients all the way through the end and make sure that they're good, and that's a huge inspiration alone.
To find out more about AOPI Orthotics and Prosthetics, please call 866-365-2674 or visit us online.